What if the deepest parts of the ocean aren't empty, but full of secrets? For centuries, humanity has looked to the stars, but what if the greatest mysteries aren't in space, but right beneath our feet? Strange sonar readings, unexplained structures, and whispers of civilizations lost to time tonight. We're diving into the abyss to find the truth hidden in the deep. Before we start, I'd love to know where in the world is this video reaching you and what time is it there? Drop it below. It's always amazing to see how far our stories travel. Close your eyes and prepare to discover a world you never knew existed. Let's begin our journey. In the vast silence of the deep, where sunlight has never touched the water, lies a world that is more alien than any we have ever imagined. It is a place of crushing pressure and eternal darkness, a place that occupies over 60% of our planet's surface, yet remains almost entirely unknown to us. We have explored more of the surface of Mars than we have the ocean floor right beneath our feet. For generations, we have looked to the cosmos for signs of other life, for a parallel universe, for answers to our origins. But what if the greatest secrets, the most profound mysteries, are not millions of light years away, but just a few miles down? Imagine the ocean floor. We picture a vast, empty plain of sand and mud, maybe with a few strange fish or hydrothermal vents. The truth is far more complex and far more mysterious. Scientists have mapped more of the surface of Venus than the topography of our own ocean depths. In the blackness, there are submerged mountain ranges that dwarf the Himalayas, colossal canyons deeper than the Grand Canyon, and trenches so profound that Mount Everest would vanish inside them with miles to spare. These aren't just geographical features. They are a blank canvas for our greatest fears and our most tantalizing questions. The deepest parts of the ocean are a world of whispers and echoes. Our most advanced sonar technologies send out a pulse, and sometimes a shape returns that simply makes no sense. These aren't the jagged edges of a volcanic rock or the slow rhythmic movements of a whale. They are geometric, symmetrical, and sometimes they appear to be impossibly large. Naval vessels and research submarines have reported strange readings for decades, anomalies that are quickly dismissed or classified. We are told they are equipment malfunctions, natural formations, or simply a trick of the light in a world with no light at all. But what if they are something else entirely? Think about the sheer scale of the unknown. We've identified only a small fraction of the species believed to exist in the ocean. Many of these are simple life forms, but every year we discover something new and shocking. We find creatures that survive on chemicals from volcanic vents, creatures that produce their own light in a world of absolute blackness, and creatures so bizarre they seem to belong on another planet. The bioluminescent life that flickers in the deep currents isn't just a wonder of nature, it's a profound mystery. How did these organisms develop the ability to create light in such a precise, often rhythmic way? Is it simply a product of evolution, or is there an order to their design that we don't yet understand? The very idea of a hidden world, a lost world, is ancient. Legends of a great flood, of civilization sinking beneath the waves, exist in almost every culture on Earth. They are the bedtime stories of humanity, passed down through generations. What if they are not just myths? What if they are the echo of a forgotten catastrophe, a memory preserved in our collective unconscious? The ocean has the power to erase and conceal. It is a perfect vault for secrets. The stories of a lost continent called Lemuria or a sunken land known as Mu are more than just folklore. They are a recurring theme that points to a shared, forgotten history. So, tonight, we will not just be listening, we will be imagining, we will be journeying beyond the known to explore a world that has been patiently waiting for us to ask the right questions. We will delve into the mysterious ruins that have been detected on the ocean floor, analyze the legends that refuse to die. For centuries, the idea of a lost city beneath the waves has been relegated to the realm of fiction and myth. The story of Atlantis, famously detailed by the Greek philosopher Plato, has captured our imagination for millennia. But what if the legend isn't a singular tale, but a collective memory of multiple civilizations swallowed by the sea? As our technology advances, the line between myth and reality is beginning to blur, and what we are finding on the ocean floor is challenging everything we thought we knew about history. Let's begin with the truly astonishing. In 1986, a Japanese dive tour operator named Kihachiro Aratake was exploring the waters around Yonaguni Island, a remote part of the Ryukyu Islands. What he discovered was so incredible that it was initially dismissed as a natural formation. Just a few feet below the surface, he found a massive terraced stone structure. As more divers and scientists explored the site, its scale and complexity became impossible to ignore. This isn't just a simple rock. The Yonaguni Monument, as it came to be known, is a monolithic structure featuring what appeared to be meticulously carved steps, sharp angles, and flat surfaces. It looks like a giant submerged pyramid or a temple complex. Geologists argue it's a natural formation shaped by seismic activity and erosion, but marine archaeologists and others point to the impossible precision of its right angles, the apparent stairs, and the symmetrical markings. Is it a natural wonder, or is it the oldest known man-made structure on Earth, a lost city from a time long before recorded history? The Yonaguni Monument is not an isolated incident. Across the world, reports of mysterious underwater structures persist. Off the coast of Cuba, sonar scans in 2001 revealed a massive submerged plateau with what looked like pyramids, stone circles, and other architectural features. The lead researcher Pauline Zalitsky claimed the formations bore a strong resemblance to the ruins of the ancient Tiahuanaco civilization of the Andes. She described them as a city with 4 giant pyramid-like structures. The deep-sea robot sent to investigate captured images of carved granite and smooth stone blocks. While many scientists remain skeptical, the patterns detected are not what you would expect from natural erosion or seafloor geology. The very existence of these structures raises a crucial question. What kind of civilization could have built such colossal formations in a location that is now over 20 feet beneath the surface? The ocean's depths conceal secrets that would require a radical rewriting of our historical timeline. Another compelling site is the Bimini Road, located in the Bahamas. It's a series of large rectangular and polygon-shaped limestone rocks that form a remarkably straight path under the water. The formation is nearly half a mile long, and many of the stones are perfectly aligned. While many geologists contend that the Bimini Road is a result of natural coastal processes and a phenomenon known as beach rock, the sheer regularity of the pattern has led others to suggest it is the remains of an ancient road or wall. For those who believe in the legend of Atlantis, the Bimini Road is often cited as a key piece of evidence, given its proximity to the region Plato described. These aren't just isolated anomalies. When you look at them together, the Yonaguni Monument, the Cuban structures, the Bimini Road, and countless other unverified reports from around the globe, a pattern begins to emerge. It's a pattern of geometric perfection and inexplicable complexity found in places that should be empty and formless. Could it be that the stories of Atlantis, Lemuria, and Mu aren't just myths, but echoes of a time when humanity, or perhaps another intelligent species, had mastered the seas? The seafloor holds the ultimate secrets. It has preserved civilizations lost to cataclysmic floods and geological shifts. What we have found so far may be just the tip of the iceberg, or rather, the spire of a submerged city, with entire metropolises still waiting to be discovered under miles of crushing darkness. The ocean is not just a witness to history, it is a library of what we have forgotten. And with every new sonar scan and every mysterious dive, we are beginning to read its forbidden pages. The idea of lost continents, entire landmasses that sank beneath the waves, stretches far beyond the famous story of Atlantis. Two names in particular whisper through the annals of fringe history and esoteric belief: Lemuria and Mu. Unlike Atlantis, which was rooted in a specific, if likely fictional, narrative by Plato, the stories of Lemuria and Mu are a tapestry woven from diverse sources, from 19th century scientific speculation to mystical philosophy and ancient myths. But are they simply the fevered dreams of a few imaginative thinkers? Or do they hold a grain of forgotten truth, an echo of a history more fantastic than we can comprehend? The story of Lemuria began not as a lost city, but as a scientific theory. In the mid-1800s, British zoologist Philip Sclater was puzzled by the existence of lemur fossils in both India and Madagascar, but nowhere in Africa or the Middle East. To explain this geographical anomaly, he proposed the existence of a sunken land bridge, a continent he named Lemuria, that once connected these distant landmasses. While modern plate tectonics have since provided a more plausible explanation that the continents were once joined and have since drifted apart, the name Lemuria was seized upon by mystics and occultists. Helena Blavatsky, a co-founder of the Theosophical Society, transformed it from a land bridge into a mythical continent inhabited by an ancient, spiritually advanced race. According to her, the Lemurians were the third root race of humanity, colossal beings with psychic powers, who eventually sank beneath the Indian Ocean and the Pacific. Then there is the continent of Mu. The story of Mu was popularized by British Army Colonel James Churchward in a series of books in the early 20th century. Churchward claimed to have deciphered ancient stone tablets given to him by an Indian high priest that detailed the history of a lost continent in the Pacific Ocean. According to his writings, Mu was a vast tropical paradise, the cradle of all human civilization, and home to a highly advanced civilization of over 64 million people. He alleged that Mu was destroyed by a massive cataclysm, causing it to sink beneath the Pacific, leaving only the tops of its mountains to form the islands of the Pacific, such as Easter Island and Hawaii. Churchward even claimed the inhabitants of Mu were the ancestors of all modern races, and that they had developed incredible technologies and esoteric knowledge. On the surface, both Lemuria and Mu sound like little more than fanciful tales. Scientists have found no evidence of a sunken continent of the scale described, and the mechanisms of plate tectonics make such an event highly unlikely. So why do these stories persist? Why do millions of people believe that these were real places, and that their remains lie on the ocean floor? The persistence of these legends may stem from a deeper human need to explain the unexplainable. Ancient cultures across the Pacific and Indian Oceans share similar flood myths and tales of great lands lost to the sea. The Maori of New Zealand speak of Hawaii, their ancestral homeland that was swallowed by the ocean. The myths of the Aboriginal Australians speak of a land bridge that once connected their continent to other islands, now submerged. Could these be folk memories of a time when sea levels were much lower and vast stretches of land, now hidden beneath the waves, were inhabited? Furthermore, there are the very real but hard to explain archaeological finds that hint at a forgotten past. the stone heads of Easter Island, the ancient megaliths of Micronesia, and the mysterious underwater structures of Yonaguni. All of these sites exist in the very regions where the legends of Lemuria and Mu are said to have once been. Could these be the scattered remnants, the mountain peaks of a lost world? Perhaps Lemuria and Mu were not continents in the conventional sense, but a vast, interconnected network of advanced coastal civilizations that were drowned when the ice caps melted at the end of the last ice age, causing sea levels to rise dramatically. The legends, then, would not be about a single cataclysmic sinking, but about a slow, inexorable march of the ocean that consumed the lands of our ancient ancestors. The ocean floor is a library of forgotten history. While we may never find a continent-sized plate labeled Mu or Lemuria, the sheer number of mysterious structures and shared myths from around the world suggests that the line between legend and history is far more permeable than we've been led to believe. The stories of Lemuria and Mu are a powerful reminder that the history of our planet may be written not just on land, but also in the silent depths of the sea. In the vast, inky blackness of the deep ocean, where the sun's light can't penetrate, a different kind of light show unfolds. This isn't the light of stars or the glow of a distant city. This is bioluminescence, the production of light by a living organism. It's a phenomenon that gives the deep sea a haunting, ethereal beauty, but it also raises a profound question. Is this simply a marvel of evolution, or is there an element of design, of intentional engineering at play? More than 75% of deep-sea creatures can produce their own light. From glowing jellyfish and shimmering squids to anglerfish with their luminous lures, life in the abyss has adapted to create its own illumination. But why? The reasons are diverse and complex, and they speak to a level of sophistication that seems almost impossible. Some creatures use light as a defense mechanism, a flashbang to startle a predator and make a quick escape. Others use it as a silent alarm, a distress signal that attracts a larger predator to their attacker. Many use it to attract a mate, a beacon in the darkness to find a partner. And perhaps most cunningly, some use it to hunt, luring unsuspecting prey with a gentle, hypnotic glow before snapping them up. The anglerfish is a perfect example of this. It has a fleshy growth on its head that dangles in front of its mouth. This growth is tipped with a luminous bulb full of bioluminescent bacteria. In the total darkness, this light is a powerful beacon, drawing curious fish close enough to be devoured. This isn't just a random act of evolution, it's a sophisticated, premeditated act of engineering. The anglerfish has, in essence, developed its own personal fishing rod and light source. The complexity goes even deeper. Take, for instance, the disco clam or electric clam. Its mantle has a row of highly reflective cells that flash on and off, but the light isn't a true bioluminescent glow. It's a unique optical illusion. The clam's body creates and then reflects ambient light, creating a strobe-like effect. It's a technological solution to a biological problem, a kind of biological mirror and amplifier. Now consider the deeper mystery. The bioluminescent light produced by these creatures is often incredibly efficient, with almost no energy lost to heat. This is a level of efficiency that our best human-made light sources struggle to achieve. Furthermore, the light isn't always a simple uniform glow. Some creatures can control the color and intensity of their light with incredible precision. The firefly squid, for example, can glow in vibrant blue and red patterns, creating a mesmerizing display that's thought to be a form of communication. The idea that this is all a product of random, unguided evolution stretches the imagination. Could it be that these abilities are the result of a form of ancient natural engineering? Is it possible that the blueprints for these complex biological systems were somehow encoded with a level of design that we are only just beginning to understand? The very existence of these living lights, forces us to reconsider the traditional boundaries between nature and design. In the blackness of the abyss, where life is forged under immense pressure, we find not just a testament to evolution, but a testament to a level of biological innovation that seems impossibly advanced. It's a world that suggests life is not just a passive force, but an active, creative one, a world where the line between what is evolved and what is engineered is as fluid as the currents themselves. And as we continue to shine our submersibles' lights into the deep, we may find that the light that shines back is not just a flicker of life, but a glimmer of something far more intelligent. The Bermuda Triangle, also known as the Devil's Triangle, is a legendary section of the western North Atlantic Ocean where countless ships and aircraft have disappeared under mysterious circumstances. For decades, the area has been a source of speculation, blamed on everything from magnetic anomalies and extreme weather to extraterrestrial activity. While many of the stories have been debunked or explained away, a new and even more intriguing layer has been added to the mystery. The discovery of what appear to be submerged structures that defy explanation. One of the most compelling and controversial findings was made in 1968 by a team of divers led by Dr. J. Manson Ballantyne, an American zoologist and archaeologist. They were exploring the waters off the coast of North Bimini, an island in the Bahamas, when they discovered what became known as the Bimini Road. As we mentioned earlier, it is a half-mile-long formation of limestone blocks that forms a remarkably straight line. While geologists argue it's a natural phenomenon of beach rock formation, others point to the uncanny precision of the blocks, which seem to be cut and laid in a pattern that is too perfect to be random. The Bimini Road has become a focal point for those who believe it is part of a submerged road or wall from a lost civilization, possibly Atlantis. The very presence of a structure so geometric and linear in a place known for its paranormal anomalies adds a compelling layer to the Bermuda Triangle's enigma. Beyond the Bimini Road, there have been other discoveries that challenge conventional explanations. In 2012, a team of oceanographers, using a remotely operated vehicle, rove in the waters off the coast of Cuba, within the Bermuda Triangle's widely accepted boundaries, reportedly discovered an entire complex of sunken structures. The ROV captured sonar images of what appeared to be colossal granite pyramids and a sphinx-like statue at a depth of over 20 feet. The lead researchers, Pauline Zalitsky and Paul Weinswag, claimed the formations were far too symmetrical and complex to be natural. The discovery sparked intense debate in the scientific community, with many dismissing it as a sonar artifact or a misinterpretation of geological formations. However, the sheer scale and apparent architectural precision of the structures, as described by the researchers, ignited the imaginations of those who believe that the Bermuda Triangle's secrets are far older and more profound than a few crashed planes and ships. Another intriguing anomaly is the so-called Crystal Pyramid legend. While there is no definitive scientific evidence of this structure, the story has circulated for years within the fringe community. The legend claims that a colossal smooth-surface crystal pyramid was discovered at a depth of 500 feet in the center of the Bermuda Triangle. The narrative suggests that this pyramid, possibly of Atlantean origin, emits a strange energy that disrupts electronic equipment, explaining the mysterious disappearances. While this specific story remains in the realm of folklore, it highlights a deep-seated human curiosity about what lies hidden beneath the surface of this mysterious region. What makes these discoveries even more tantalizing is their location. The Bermuda Triangle is already a place shrouded in mystery, and the idea that its very floor is a graveyard for lost, high-tech civilizations adds a profound new dimension. Could it be that the magnetic anomalies and other strange phenomena are not just natural occurrences, but but are remnants of an ancient power source or technology, a kind of echo from a forgotten era. The possibility that the Bermuda Triangle is not just a place of inexplicable disappearances, but is actually the final resting place of ancient advanced societies suggests that the mysteries of the deep are directly linked to the mysteries of the surface. The Bermuda Triangle is a place where legends and reality collide. While many of its mysteries may be explainable by natural forces, the discovery of these seemingly man-made structures beneath its waters begs a deeper question. What if the Bermuda Triangle isn't a problem to be solved, but a historical site to be explored, a site that holds the answers to not only a few lost ships and planes, but to the very origins of a forgotten civilization? The sea, it seems, has been holding its secrets for a very long time, and the Bermuda Triangle may be the key to unlocking them. As we push deeper into the ocean, we leave the familiar continental shelves and slopes behind and descend into the most alien landscapes on our planet. The oceanic trenches, these colossal gashes in the Earth's crust, are deeper than any canyon on land and are so profound that Mount Everest would be swallowed whole with miles to spare. The most famous is the Mariana Trench, home to the Challenger Deep, the deepest known point on Earth. But despite a handful of expeditions to this extreme environment, these trenches remain the most uncharted and mysterious places on the globe. It is in these unmapped, lightless abysses that our advanced sonar technology has picked up some of the most perplexing data ever recorded. Sonar, which uses sound waves to map the seafloor, has a simple principle. A pulse is sent out, and the time it takes for the echo to return reveals the depth and shape of whatever is below. But what happens when the echo returns a shape that shouldn't be there? For decades, naval vessels, research ships, and submarines have reported strange sonar anomalies. In some cases, these are massive geometric shapes that are too perfect to be natural rock formations. In others, they are long linear patterns that run for miles, as if a colossal highway or wall has been sunk beneath the waves. While many of these are dismissed as acoustic artifacts or a trick of the equipment, the sheer number of these reports suggests something far more complex is at play. One of the most famous examples is the bloop, a powerful, ultra-low frequency sound detected in 1997 by NOAA's deep-sea listening equipment. The sound was so loud that it was picked up by hydrophones over 30 miles apart. Its acoustic signature was unlike any known biological or geological phenomenon. While scientists eventually attributed it to the cracking and breaking of a large iceberg, for years, the mystery fueled speculation that it was the sound of a colossal, undiscovered creature lurking in the depths. Beyond strange sounds, the trenches have revealed physical anomalies as well. In 2011, a Swedish team of explorers in the Baltic Sea discovered what they dubbed the Baltic Sea Anomaly, a massive circular object, some 200 feet in diameter, resting on the seafloor. Its perfectly circular shape and runway leading up to it sparked a worldwide sensation. While many geologists believe it's a natural glacial deposit, its symmetry and the fact that its origin remains unproven has made it a symbol of the deep ocean's unknown secrets. What could be generating these anomalies? One theory is that they are remnants of a lost era. Perhaps these trenches are the final resting places of ancient, advanced civilizations whose structures were pulled down into the depths by cataclysmic seismic events. As tectonic plates shift and submerge, they could be dragging entire cities, technologies, and monuments with them into the abyss. What we are seeing on Sonar may not be a natural feature at all, but the jagged, crushed ruins of a world we never knew existed. Another, even more profound possibility is that something is living down there. The extreme pressure and darkness of the trenches are perfect for concealing creatures of incredible size and intelligence. If advanced life were to develop in such an environment, it would have no need for sunlight and would be perfectly adapted to thrive in a world that is deadly to us. Could the strange sounds and impossible shapes be evidence of a hidden, thriving ecosystem, or even an intelligent species whose existence we are only just beginning to detect? The truth is that our understanding of the ocean's trenches is in its infancy. With less than a fraction of 1% of the seafloor mapped in high resolution, we are just scratching the surface. The sonar anomalies and the uncharted depths are a cosmic invitation, a call to explore our own planet's final frontier, and to confront the possibility that the deepest, darkest parts of the Earth are not empty, but are teeming with secrets that could rewrite history and redefine our place in the universe. The ocean floor is a vast graveyard, a final resting place for countless ships and their stories. But while many shipwrecks are well documented and celebrated historical finds, others are shrouded in such mystery that they have been declared forbidden sites by governments and explorers alike. These aren't just sunken vessels. They are time capsules that hold secrets so profound they could change our understanding of history, and some believe even of our own reality. Consider the Bioluminescent shipwreck off the coast of Turkey. Discovered in 1982 by a sponge diver, this wreck dates back to the late Bronze Age, around 1300 BC. But what made it extraordinary wasn't just its age, but its cargo. It was a floating treasure trove of raw materials from a vast, interconnected global economy that historians had never imagined. The ship was filled with copper and tin ingots, but also with exotic ebony wood from Africa, Baltic amber, Egyptian glass, and Mycenaean pottery. This single shipwreck provided irrefutable proof that a sophisticated international trade network existed 30 years ago, a time period we once considered primitive. The Bioluminescent is a perfectly preserved snapshot of a world that history books had largely forgotten. But what about the ships that aren't just historical finds, but are tied to whispers of the paranormal or of hidden knowledge? The ocean is filled with tales of ghost ships, from the legendary Flying Dutchman to the eerie mystery of the Mary Celeste, found adrift with its crew vanished. These stories, though often explained by natural phenomena, feed into a larger narrative of the ocean as a place that not only hides its secrets, but actively protects them. Now, let's venture to a truly forbidden zone. There are regions of the ocean that are off limits to civilian vessels, designated as protected or military zones. While this is often for security reasons, the rumors that swirl around these areas are far more tantalizing. One such site is a stretch of the ocean off the coast of New Zealand, where sonar has allegedly picked up strange, almost alien structures. These are not shipwrecks. They are immense, geometric formations that seem to have been placed with incredible precision on the seabed. While governments refuse to comment, the speculation is that these are either the remains of a pre-human civilization or, more controversially, evidence of a classified military operation or something else entirely. Could it be that what we consider forbidden is simply what we are not yet ready to comprehend? Another site of intense debate is the Piri Reis map. This Ottoman map, discovered in 1929, is renowned for its impossible accuracy. It depicts coastlines of the Americas and Antarctica, but what makes it so baffling is that it shows Antarctica's coast without ice. Scientists know that the Antarctic coast was last ice-free around 60 years ago. How could a map from the 16th century, or the ancient sources it claims to be based on, have such accurate knowledge of a landmass that has been under an ice sheet for thousands of years? One theory is that the map's creators had access to knowledge from a civilization that existed when sea levels were dramatically different, a civilization that was ultimately lost. Could the sites of these lost civilizations now be the very forbidden zones that we are prevented from exploring. The ocean is not just a watery grave for ships, it is a repository of forgotten truths. Every shipwreck, every unexplained anomaly, and every forbidden site is a breadcrumb leading us to a much larger and far more incredible story. The artifacts we find and the secrets we are prevented from seeing suggest that the history of our planet is not just about what happened on land, but about a far older, deeper story that lies on the ocean floor, waiting for the right moment to be revealed. When we think of advanced life, our minds instinctively turn to beings with technology, language, and culture, creatures much like ourselves. We imagine them on distant planets, building cities and flying ships. But what if we're looking in the wrong direction? What if the conditions for advanced life aren't found in the vacuum of space, but in the crushing pressure and eternal darkness of our own oceans? The deep sea, once thought to be a barren and lifeless void, has proven to be a thriving ecosystem. But we have only scratched the surface. The vast majority of the ocean's volume remains completely uninvestigated. The sheer scale of the deep ocean, combined with the extreme and unique conditions, makes it the perfect crucible for a form of advanced life we can't even begin to imagine. Consider the requirements for intelligence. It requires a brain, a nervous system, and the ability to process information. We know that many deep-sea creatures, like the colossal squid, have large and complex brains. The colossal squid has the largest eyes of any known animal, and its brain is a donut-shaped structure that its esophagus passes through. While we don't know the full extent of its intelligence, the sheer size and complexity of its neural system suggest a level of cognitive ability far beyond the simple predator. But what if advanced life evolved in a way that doesn't mirror our own? What if intelligence isn't about building cities and using fire, but about mastering the environment? The deep ocean has a unique form of communication, bioluminescence. Could a species have evolved to communicate through complex, pulsating light patterns, weaving narratives, and transmitting information in a way we can't decode? We have seen glimmering schools of fish that seem to move as one, and we've observed bioluminescent creatures with intricate patterns and flashes. Could this be a form of language, a conversation taking place in the dark that we simply aren't equipped to hear? Furthermore, an advanced deep-sea species would have no need for many of the things we consider essential. They wouldn't need to see, in the traditional sense, as light doesn't penetrate the deep. Their technology would likely be based on sound, pressure, or even magnetism sensory abilities we are just beginning to understand. They wouldn't build with stone and metal, but would manipulate the materials of their environment, perhaps using bioluminescent algae to create living structures or harnessing the energy of hydrothermal vents to power their society. Their cities might not be what we recognize at all, but vast, interconnected biological networks that stretch for miles. The possibility of such life is not just science fiction, they are compelling anomalies that challenge our assumptions. Strange sonar returns that defy explanation. The bloop, a sound so powerful it traveled for thousands of miles and remains officially unexplained, and the mysterious disappearances of submarines in the deep. Could these be accidental encounters with a species that has learned to master an environment so hostile that our machines are rendered useless? Think about the sheer amount of time that life has had to evolve in the deep. The deepest parts of the ocean have been a stable environment for hundreds of millions of years, far longer than the surface has been stable. This provides a colossal window for a species to develop, evolve, and become advanced without ever being seen by us. Ultimately, the question of whether advanced life exists in the deep is not just about finding a new species. It's about confronting the possibility that our definition of advanced is too narrow. It's about opening our minds to a universe of possibilities, right here on our own planet. The deep ocean is not just an empty void. It is a frontier, a laboratory of life, and intelligence, a place where a silent, unseen civilization may have been watching us for a very long time. And as we continue to push our technology into their world, we may find that we are not the masters of this planet, but merely guests on the surface. Since the dawn of seafaring, the ocean has been a realm of monsters. Sailors' tales are filled with legendary beasts of immense size, from the kraken that could crush ships with its tentacles to the leviathan, a serpent so vast it could encircle the world. For a long time, these were dismissed as nothing more than sailors' folklore, the hallucinations of men lost at sea. But as we have pushed our technology into the abyss, we have discovered that some of the most terrifying legends might have been based on a very real and very colossal truth. The most famous real-life monster of the deep is the giant squid. For centuries, it was the subject of myths and legends, a creature of such immense size that it was believed to be the kraken itself. Scientists spent hundreds of years searching for proof of its existence, and it was only in the 21st century that we finally captured live footage of this elusive giant in its natural habitat. The giant squid can grow to over 43 feet long, and its sheer size is a testament to the fact that the deep ocean holds creatures that defy our imagination. But the giant squid is not alone. Its close cousin, the colossal squid, is even larger and more formidable, with rotating hooks on its tentacles, a brain-like structure, and the largest eyes of any known creature. The very existence of these animals confirms that the myths of colossal creatures are not just stories. But what about the truly monstrous legends, those that dwarf even the giant squid? The tales of the megalodon persist, a prehistoric shark so massive it could swallow a great white shark whole. While science tells us that the megalodon went extinct over 3.6 million years ago, there are still people who believe it could be hiding in the uncharted trenches of the ocean. The deep ocean is a refuge, a place so vast and unexplored that a handful of megalodons could easily live and hunt without ever being seen by human eyes. The discovery of modern sharks with bite marks and damage that a great white could not have inflicted has only fueled the speculation. Then there is the legend of the kraken, a myth that has appeared in cultures from Norway to ancient Greece. While the giant and colossal squid provide a solid foundation for this myth, what if there is a true kraken out there, a cephalopod of unimaginable size? In 2004, a team of Japanese scientists captured footage of a giant squid with a tentacle length of over 30 feet. But they believe there are even larger specimens that have never been seen. The thought of a creature with the intelligence of a squid and the size of a city bus living in the crushing blackness is enough to send a shiver down your spine. Beyond the known, there are the truly unexplainable. In the 1960s, a naval submarine was allegedly chased by a massive, unidentified object in the Atlantic. The sonar operator described it as a biological entity of immense size that moved with incredible speed. For hours, the submarine was unable to shake its pursuer, and the incident was classified for decades. Was it a megalodon, a new species of colossal squid? Or was it something else entirely, something so large and so powerful that we have yet to give it a name? The deep ocean is a world of pressure and darkness, a perfect environment for creatures to grow to immense size, far from the prying eyes of humanity. The myths of colossal beasts are not just fantastical stories, they are the echoes of a hidden reality. As we continue to explore the final frontier of our planet, we may find that the monsters of our nightmares are not in the realm of fiction, but are living, breathing, and waiting in the inky blackness below. In the shadow of deep-sea exploration, there is a parallel world of classified missions and hidden agendas. While civilian researchers publish their findings for the world to see, national governments and intelligence agencies have been secretly probing the ocean's depths for decades. Their missions are not for public knowledge, they are for national security, and what they have found in the abyss is locked away in vaults and stamped with the highest level of clearance. The ocean's secrets are not just historical or biological, they are also geopolitical, and they are far more unsettling. One of the most compelling and documented cases of a hidden expedition involves the Cold War. Both the United States and the Soviet Union spent billions of dollars on a silent fight beneath the waves. Their submarines were not just armed with nuclear, they were equipped with the most advanced sonar and listening devices specifically designed to monitor each other. But in the silence of the deep, they didn't just find enemy subs. They found unidentified submerged objects, or USOs. These were objects that appeared on sonar, moved at impossible speeds, and performed maneuvers that defied the laws of physics. For years, these sightings were kept secret, dismissed as equipment failure or misidentification. But the sheer number of reports from both sides of the Iron Curtain suggests that something was down there. The mystery of the USS Thresher, a nuclear submarine that sank in 1963, is a chilling example. The official story is that the submarine suffered a catastrophic mechanical failure. But in the decades since, declassified documents and whistleblower testimony have raised serious questions. Was the Thresher's last message experiencing minor difficulty a cover-up? Was the Soviet sub that sank a year later, the K-129, also a victim of a mechanical failure, or was it something else? The deep ocean holds the truth about these events, but the wreckage sites are guarded secrets, inaccessible to all but a select few. The whispers of a hidden underwater conflict, or worse, an encounter with a non-human entity, persist to this day. Then there's the issue of forbidden zones, areas of the ocean that are off-limits to civilian vessels. While many of these are military testing sites, some are simply designated no-go zones with no public explanation. These areas are often in regions where strange anomalies have been reported, such as the Bermuda Triangle and other areas with unusual magnetic fields. Why would a government prevent its own scientists and citizens from exploring these regions? The answer, many believe, is that these areas are hiding something that is either too dangerous or too world-changing to be revealed to the public. Could these be the sites where governments have secretly recovered advanced technology, or perhaps even encountered an intelligent non-human species? The most tantalizing secret is the existence of the U.S. Navy's classified deep-sea expeditions. Since the 1960s, the Navy has been using specialized submarines and ROVs to explore the deepest parts of the ocean. Their missions are not for marine biology, they are to find and recover what they call unidentified underwater phenomena. They have allegedly retrieved pieces of technology that are far more advanced than anything we currently possess. These are not just rusted pieces of metal, but materials and components that seem to be of non-terrestrial origin. These findings are not published in scientific journals, but are locked away in government labs and studied in complete secrecy. The idea that a vast unknown technology could be sitting on the ocean floor, and that a select few have access to it, is a sobering thought. The history of the deep ocean is not just about what we have found, but also about what has been hidden from us. Governments know more about the abyss than they are willing to admit. The classified documents, the no-go zones, and the unexplained incidents all point to a world beneath the waves that is far more complex and perhaps more populated than we have been led to believe. The ocean is not just a place for lost cities and giant creatures. It is a battleground of secrets, a place where a silent war is being fought over the deepest mysteries of our planet. And the truth, it seems, is far too important to be shared with the public. Throughout human history, there are persistent and terrifying legends of a great flood, a cataclysmic event that wiped out civilizations and reshaped the planet. The stories appear in the myths of cultures separated by vast oceans and millennia, from the Sumerian epic of Gilgamesh and the biblical account of Noah's Ark to the myths of the indigenous peoples of North and South America and the Aboriginal Australians. These are not just isolated folk tales, they are a shared memory of a world-changing event. But what if the source of this memory isn't just a sudden downpour, but the very ocean itself, a living, breathing force that played a central role in a forgotten catastrophe? Mainstream science tells us that the last great cataclysm was the end of the last ice age, around 12,000 years ago. As the colossal ice sheets melted, sea levels rose by over 400 feet, submerging vast stretches of coastal land and creating the coastlines we know today. But what if this process wasn't slow and gradual? What if it was a rapid, violent event that happened over a much shorter period, a flood in the truest sense of the word? The rising sea levels would have drowned countless coastal civilizations, erasing their existence from the surface world and leaving only their ruins and our collective trauma behind. The stories of a great flood, then, are not just myths, but accurate historical accounts of an event so traumatic that it was embedded in the consciousness of every surviving culture. The geological evidence for such a rapid event is compelling. The ocean floor is not a static place. The same tectonic plate activity that creates mountains and volcanoes can also cause continents to sink and land masses to rise. What if, at the end of the last ice age, a series of massive seismic events caused entire land masses to submerge? This could explain the legends of Lemuria and Mu, not as continents that were swallowed whole, but as vast islands or land bridges that were pulled into the abyss by geological shifts. The Bermuda Triangle's mystery in the strange submerged structures off the coast of Cuba could be remnants of a society that was literally pulled beneath the surface in a geological cataclysm. The ocean, in this scenario, isn't just a passive container of water. It's an active participant, a force that can both create and destroy entire worlds. Another theory, even more dramatic, involves a celestial impact. The Younger Dryas impact theory, for example, posits that a comet or asteroid struck the Earth around 12,900 years ago, causing a global cataclysm that plunged the planet into a sudden, deep freeze and triggered the catastrophic global flood as the ice caps melted from the heat of the impact. If such an event occurred, the ocean would have been the primary force of destruction. Colossal tsunamis, hundreds of feet high, would have scoured the coastlines of every continent, wiping out all in their path and pulling the remains of civilizations into the deep. The ocean would have acted as both the instrument of destruction and the vault that preserved the secrets of the world that came before. The ocean, therefore, is not just a watery grave, it is a repository of our ancient history. Every mysterious structure, every submerged coastline, and every shared flood myth points to a forgotten past where humanity was humbled by the very planet it lived on. The Great Flood wasn't just a story about a god's wrath, it was a memory of the planet itself, of a massive, devastating event that reset civilization and left the oceans as the ultimate witness. The ocean's role in ancient cataclysms is a chilling reminder of our own vulnerability. We build our cities on the coasts, but we forget that the very seas that nourish us can also rise up and consume everything we have built. The deepest parts of the ocean hold not only the remains of lost cities, but the final echoes of a world that was drowned, a silent monument to the awesome and terrifying power of the sea. We have journeyed into the abyss, exploring the unsettling mysteries that lie beneath the surface. We've seen evidence of lost cities, contemplated the existence of giant beasts, and uncovered government secrets that hint at a hidden world. Now, as we prepare to return to the surface, a final chilling question remains: are we alone? or are we in fact being watched? For centuries, humanity has turned its gaze to the stars, convinced that if there were other intelligent beings, they would be out there in the cosmos. We've sent probes, listened for radio signals, and built powerful telescopes, all in the hope of finding a sign of life beyond our planet. But what if the greatest alien presence isn't millions of light years away, but just a few miles down in the blackness of the ocean? The evidence we've discussed, the unidentified submerged objects, the bizarre sonar anomalies, and the inexplicable disappearances all point to a world that we don't fully understand. The sheer scale and depth of the ocean provide the perfect hiding place for a civilization that has no desire to interact with us. Such a species would have evolved under immense pressure, in a world where light is a luxury and sound is the primary means of communication. Their technology would be based on principles we can barely grasp, and their bodies would be perfectly adapted to an environment that would instantly crush us. Think about it. An advanced deep-sea species would be completely indifferent to our surface world. Our satellites, our communication networks, our wars, they would mean nothing to a species that thrives in a world of total darkness and immense pressure. They would be masters of their own domain, and from their perspective, we might be nothing more than a curious, noisy life form on the thin, fragile film of the planet's surface. The bloop sound, which traveled thousands of miles, could have been a form of communication, a colossal conversation taking place beneath the waves. The unexplained submarine incidents in naval USOs might not be encounters with hostile aliens from another world, but rather with the inhabitants of our own planet's hidden depths, a civilization that has been watching us with a silent, detached curiosity for a very long time. This isn't about fear, it's about a profound shift in perspective. The ocean is not just an empty void, it is the final frontier on Earth. It is a place that holds the secrets of our past and the key to our future. The lost cities, the ancient ruins, the giant creatures, they all suggest that our planet is far more complex and far more mysterious than we have been led to believe. The possibility of advanced life in the deep is the most tantalizing and terrifying of all. As you close your eyes and drift into the silence of the night, listen. Listen not just to the sounds of your world, but to the whispers of the deep. What if the secrets you seek are not in the stars above, but in the abyss below? The ocean has been waiting for us to stop looking so far and start looking within our own world. Perhaps the question isn't whether we are alone, but whether the beings that share our planet will ever choose to reveal themselves. And with that thought, we conclude our journey into the deep. Sleep well, and may the currents of your dreams carry you to a world of endless mystery.